such, where she turns up for 5 minutes and then gets killed off. But I'm not surprised that she did turn up, because there were so many players in 80s Hong Kong cinema that they're available. Okay, come over. Yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? Get killed? Okay. I have two other movies this afternoon, so make it quick. Here's Yuen Wah, there's the night. Okay, see you guys.
I was going to say, it's like, can't do too much today, I've got a concert at 7.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not. It's a role that's beneath her, but it's still, it's wonderful to have as well. That comforting feeling we talked about when talking about Wu Feng. It's like, cool, I need the movies in it. She gets killed. Yeah, why not? That's cool too.
It's funny because it's always one of those things nowadays when people complain about like Hong Kong cinemas slow down dramatically. But you have to think in the sense is like, what the fuck were they on for the fact that they were doing so much movies in the 80s?
Yeah.
Is
how could they? The working pace must have been insane. Yeah.
Because nowadays is like, right, 4 films could come off as quite a lot to do in 1 year. Chow Yun-fat was in 11. It's like, I reckon if this cast and crew were just laced up with like speed, just like
something.
Like it's like, no, I can't sleep. I've got 3 more cameo appearances before I could like even think about sleeping tonight.
And they had multiple careers, not only jobs, but most of these were singers too. Tours,
like, television shows.
Yeah.
Of course, tours.
Promotion, everything. I mean, okay, they don't do like Hollywood style promotion where they sit in a hotel for 2 days and do interviews as such, but because you never had that in Hong Kong, I think. But still, I mean, even Chow Yun-fat did some music, some comedy music, the classic "Diary of a Big Man" song called, I guess, "Very Nice."
That's not the one that goes "very nice."
That's the one.
It's the only one I can remember.
It's one of those
for a reason.
It's great. It's him, Sally Ye, and Yuen Wah in this musical number in the film. That actually is not a song underneath the movie. It's a musical number in the middle of the film. Very nice.
That was just this great presence by Philip Ko there, just like that stance at the end of the hall.
I'm a good guy, I promise.
That's like enough to make anyone freeze in their steps. Like, we know you're fucking evil to the core. Look at you.
What do you think of Philip Ko?
He is like really one of those actors who, from the movies I've seen, he never lasts any longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Like in Dragons Forever, shot dead. Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars, gets his ass kicked. And like in the same year as this movie, like Philip like got his ass carved up by Sammo Hung in Eastern Condors.
Yeah.
So he is just like, he is a guy that gets about, but like the dude's got this. I reckon like he doesn't last long.
But when he gets a chance to chew on something, he does. And again, fatal termination. He plays the bad guy in that.
Right.
Oh my God! I won't say what he does, but it's heinous. And it's not him holding out that little girl in the car. That's Mike Abbott. But Philip Ko tops that. Jesus Christ. But I like he's a terrific on-screen fighter when he gets a chance to fight for more extended periods of time. Again, I recommend to you The Loot and The Challenger, both now available on Joy Sales DVD.
Right.
And but so he tried to be like a comedic actor at times, but he never fit that, because he some people were just born to play baddies, and Philip Ko was that. He tried. It worked in The Loot a little bit, because that was kind of quirky, witty movie, and it worked. But movies like Two for the Road, also known as Fearless Dragons, that just doesn't work. He needs to be a baddie. He has these eyes, these beady eyes, and that works for him. But he's actually good as a dramatic actor in another Shaw Brothers movie, Brothers from the Walled City, directed by Nam Nai Choi, who did Men from the Gutter with Michael Mukiwai, Seventh Curse, Story of Ricky, The Cat, this great director, Her Vengeance. And he plays opposite Chin Soo-ho in Brothers from the Walled City, and it's pretty decent dramatic performance from Philip Ko. He emotes very well, actually, very naturally. But he's kind of also known for doing low-budget, crappy Filipino productions, and it's true, of course, but his earlier stages as a director is much, much better. He made more Hong Kong movies at the earlier stages in his career. Final Run from like 88, 89 is this all-star action extravaganza, which means that even like people like Simon Yam gets killed off quite quickly. He is not the star of that film. And so it's kind of who is the star, who will be the star. It's kind of that game, but it's a great movie. Francis is in it, one of his earlier roles, 80s roles. Also, Killer's Romance, who with Simon Yam and Joey Wong, was shot in England, and it's this pretty decent take on. That's a great intake, also.
You could tell the poor lad got dropped on his head.
But Killer's Romance is this decent take on the Crying Freeman story, which was also made into that movie with Mark Dacascos later on in the 90s. And also is a manga, I believe. And Simon Yam was the Crying Freeman, I guess. But
I have noticed that this movie does have these great first-person shots, where it is like deliberately someone walking towards like either unsuspecting victims, like how we had Chow Yun-fat entering Anita Moy's apartment. Then we just had the same shot here, but it turns out to be Emily Chu.
It was more surprising now, though, compared to Chow Yun-fat.
You're expecting like a hand with a wee dagger just to come into the corner of the shot, just slowly dicing up and down as it got closer, like with the Jaws music suddenly coming in. Final note on Philip Coffey. He's actually part of the IFD stable of players, which was fun. He was in the reshot footage, the ninja footage. He was in the reshot footage with Richard Harrison that they edited into other movies. So he's actually he faces off against Richard Harrison in Majestic Thunderbolt. Majestic Thunderbolt, as the trailer says. Here we go. A little piece of violence, more violence. And it's tense now. It's dangerous. It is.
And it's not corny dangerous, cheesy dangerous. It's actually very... That's a great shot of Giant Fat with the... it's highly lethal. And remember the robot thrusting motion? That was in this movie. Someone getting... it's not too bad of a stunt, I guess. Maybe
he's not laughing anymore.
And it's for once an Eric Tsang high-pitched performance of pain. He's actually in pain. He's incredibly, now he recognizes Mew QI. It's not Eric Tsang walking about being horny and laughing and having that voice. What happens to Emily Chu's character? Does she get killed in this scene, or does she just disappear?
I think possibly they just leave her behind.
Yeah, and it's the motley crew: Giant Fat, Philip Coe, and Yuen Wah.
It just lies there on the road. There's going to be the shot with everyone driving away, then a bus just going over her.
And she. I think she's out of the movie by this point.
Yeah, I think that might be it. That's insane.
And there's no the cops arriving at the end of the movie either. So, but again, a final note on Philip Coe. He might have been in the IFD footage that they shot, but he was also sometimes, at least on one occasion anyway, in the movies that they acquired and cut Richard Harrison into. So he was both in the new footage and in the original movies, which was kind of amusing. No one else was that, because they didn't have Ken Cheng or Alex Mann at hand at IFD to shoot new scenes to match the movie that they were in 10 years ago. But wow, here we go.
I know. Don't you just feel like this great thing when there's this wide shot of a huge scrapyard filled with cars? Shit, something's bad is gonna happen here.
And then it's for once not a warehouse finale with a lot of empty cardboard boxes. This is rife with opportunities, and boy does Yuen Wah orchestrate something in the action department here.
It looks like they did even lost a tooth.
And look at Giant Fat's facial expressions here with his mouth I'll get that guy.
He's snarling basically. He's
if
he can't look any more evil, well, let's just stretch this face a little more.
But see how much we can get into Yuen Wah's career. But I'll briefly go through it. Is acrobatic extraordinaire, double for Bruce Lee. Of course, he worked a little bit at Shaw Brothers as director, but he's of course known for working with Sammo a lot more. Coming into his own, playing a bad villain, he's the Condors. Dragons Forever, Iceman Comet.